I still remember that morning, cold, gray, and pouring rain. I stood alone at the bus stop, watching my reflection in a puddle, wondering how I let life become so predictable. Every day was the same. Wake up, drag through the motions, sleep, repeat. My dreams felt like distant memories. That morning, something inside me broke, or maybe it finally woke up. A quiet but powerful voice echoed inside me. What if this isn't all there is? My heart raced, not from fear, but from the idea that maybe, just maybe I could become something more. And right there, in the storm, I decided, no more comfort or excuses. That single decision became the spark. Comfort feels safe, until it starts to suffocate you. I had built a perfect little cage. Familiar job, familiar people, no surprises. But I didn't realize that comfort was slowly stealing my hunger, my curiosity, my life. I avoided challenges like they were fire. I told myself, not today, maybe next year. But years went by and I stayed the same. My potential never even got a chance to speak. The truth, I was scared, not of failure, but of being seen trying. I was scared to stand out, to break the pattern. But deep inside, I knew I was meant for more than routines and regrets. The first time I said yes to something uncomfortable, my voice trembled. A public speaking workshop, something I used to avoid like a disease. My palms were sweaty, heart was pounding like a drum. I wanted to run, hide, vanish. But I stayed. I stood up in front of 10 strangers and spoke. My voice cracked, and I forgot half my lines. But when I finished, they clapped. That moment wasn't about performance. It was about permission. I permitted myself to mess up, to grow, to feel alive again. That night, I didn't sleep, not because of fear, but because I felt awake. Getting out of your comfort zone doesn't feel good, it hurts. I failed at things I thought I'd be good at. I got laughed at, rejected, and overlooked. Every time I thought I was making progress, life smacked me back down. But something strange happened. I stopped fearing failure. I started learning from it. Every bruise taught me how to stand taller. Every no sharpened my focus. I didn't just grow skills, I grew resilience. Pain became my greatest teacher. I was no longer chasing ease. I was chasing growth. And with each fall, I rose a little stronger. I used to think confidence was something people were born with, but I discovered it's built, one scary step at a time. The more I pushed myself into unfamiliar spaces, the more I found parts of me I never knew existed. I started reading more, speaking more, and dreaming louder. People noticed. They asked, "What changed?" And I told them. I stopped choosing comfort. I started choosing courage. The new me wasn't perfect, but it was real, alive, hungry. And once I tasted that growth, I never wanted to go back to who I was. I started noticing something strange. The more I challenged myself, the more average things lost their shine. Small talk bored me. Complaining felt like poison. I couldn't sit in the same circles where dreams were mocked and fear was worshipped. So I let go of people, habits, and thoughts that held me down. It wasn't easy. Some goodbyes broke my heart. But I realized growth comes with grief. You have to bury the old version of yourself to give birth to the new one. And I was ready to stop living small. Growth can get lonely, especially when you're no longer who you were, but not yet who you're becoming. I spent nights in silence, questioning everything. Who am I without others' approval? What do I want from this life? The answers didn't come easily, but in that stillness I met myself. Not the version I performed for the world. The real one, raw, honest, messy. And in that moment of truth, I stopped running. I accepted my flaws, my fears, my fire. Solitude became my mirror, and I finally saw who I was meant to be. People think transformation is made of big, dramatic moments. But for me, It was the small wins that reshaped everything. Waking up early one more day, finishing a book, saying no to something toxic. Each tiny victory was like laying a brick. And one day, I looked around. I had built a new mindset. A quiet strength grew inside me. Not loud, not flashy, but unshakable. I wasn't chasing quick success anymore. I was becoming someone consistent. And that's what builds empires. Here's what no one tells you. Fear never fully goes away. Even now, it shows up before every big decision. It whispers, "What if you fail? What if you're not enough?" But now I smile at it. I nod and move anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision to act despite it. I learned to carry fear with me like a shadow, not a jailer. And with every step, its voice got quieter. Not gone, just less powerful. Because I finally knew who was in charge of me. It wasn't $1 million success or standing ovations that made me feel free. It was a random Tuesday when I laughed, not because of a joke, but because I finally felt light. I had let go of fear, people-pleasing, and the need to be perfect. For the first time, I was living from my soul, not my survival. That day, I danced in my room with no music playing, just me and the feeling of liberation. And I whispered to myself, this is what life was meant to feel like. There was a time I said no to everything that scared me. No to new jobs. No to new people. No to change. But then, something shifted. I started saying yes. Yes, to challenges I didn't feel ready for. Yes to opportunities one couldn't control. Yes to becoming someone I wasn't yet. Every yes cracked my limits open. It wasn't about being fearless. It was about trusting my future self to figure it out. And every time I said yes, the world expanded. Life rewards those who step forward without a guarantee. The first few times I failed, I wanted to quit. I took it personally, like it defined me. But then I began to study my failures, not fear them. Each one was a lesson I couldn't learn from success. They showed me my blind spots, my weak spots, my real potential. I started collecting failures like medals, not because they felt good, but because they meant I was trying. They meant I was growing. Failure didn't break me anymore. It built me, and soon it became my most honest friend. I kept an old photo of myself, the version that lived in fear, settled for less, and smiled for others more than for himself. I don't hate him. I honor him. He survived so I could rise. But I'm not him anymore. I've outgrown his fears, rewritten his story. Becoming doesn't mean forgetting where you came from. It means finally choosing where you're going. The gap between who I was and who I'm becoming, that's where my power lives now. Growth has a strange way of showing you who's really for you. Some people clapped when I shrank, but went silent when I rose. Others quietly stayed, challenged me, supported me, even when I changed. I learned that not everyone is meant to stay in your new chapter, and that's okay. The friends who stayed didn't just see who I was, they believed in who I could become. I don't hold grudges, but now I choose my circle like I choose my future, intentionally. Success used to mean applause, validation, and material things, but now it means waking up excited. It means peace when I go to bed. It means knowing I showed up, stretched, and stayed true to who I'm becoming. My bank account didn't define me. My courage did. Success wasn't a number anymore. It was a feeling, alignment, freedom, purpose. I used to chase the world's version of success. Now I create my own, one intentional step at a time. One morning, I got a message from a stranger. He said, "Watching your journey gave me the courage to leave my toxic job." I was stunned. I never thought anyone noticed. But there it was, proof that your healing becomes someone else's hope. My journey wasn't just mine anymore. It was a spark for others. And that changed everything. I stopped trying to be perfect. I focused on being real. Because somewhere out there, Someone is silently watching, waiting for a sign that it's possible. You become that sign simply by rising. Once my mindset shifted, my body followed. I started walking more, eating better, and standing taller. Not for looks, for energy, for presence, for power. I realized my body carried years of fear, tension, and unspoken dreams. I began treating it like an ally, not a burden. Every workout became an act of respect. Every breath, a reminder that I was still alive and capable of more. Growth isn't just mental, it's physical. And when your body and mind unite, you become unstoppable. Some doors slammed in my face, and it hurt. I cried, got angry, and blamed the world. But now I see, those closed doors were divine protection. Every job I didn't get, every relationship that ended, every plan that fell apart, they weren't rejections. They were redirections. Setbacks weren't there to break me. They were preparing me. Life had bigger plans, but I had to trust the detours. And looking back, I'm grateful for every no that led me to the right yes. For years, I was my own harshest critic. I carried guilt for wasted time, missed chances, and broken promises to myself. But one night, in total silence, I looked in the mirror and whispered, "I forgive you." I cried, not from weakness, but from release. Forgiveness was my freedom. It didn't erase the past. It just unchained me from it. I finally saw myself not as a failure, but as a fighter, and that simple act of grace changed everything. Today, my life still has problems, but it also has purpose. I still feel fear, but I no longer let it stop me. I laugh louder, dream bigger, and walk bolder, because I chose discomfort over regret. I chose growth over safety, and that one choice changed everything. If this story stirred something in you, maybe it's your turn now. Step out. Speak up. Start small, but start. And if this message moved you even a little, please subscribe to BillionX for more stories that wake your soul.